Report ready, Albright?
I'm sorry, Mr. Honeywell, but I've been worrying about Margie and that darn automobile race.
For crying out loud, are you still moping about that? If you don't want the girl to enter, put your foot down and stop pleading.
Yeah, but you've never had a daughter. When they reach 21, poof, you lose all control over them.
Yeah, well, one good swat with an old-fashioned razor strap and poof, I'd be right back in control again.
It isn't just the race, it's the trip down there. 300 miles. A girl shouldn't drive that far alone.
All right, you've got to snap out of this. Do you know who's coming to see this report day after tomorrow?
I know. DeWitt Davenport, Vice President of Consolidated Lumber. Well, don't worry, I'll have it ready.
See that you do.
300 miles alone and then that auto race.
All right, until you get this weekend race off of your mind, you won't be worth a nickel. Get up. Now I'll show you how a brain works. I never had a daughter, but I do know feminine psychology.
Do you really have a plan?
As I said, I'll show you how a brain works. What's the problem? How to keep a young girl in town. What's the most appealing thing in a young girl's life? Romance. What's even more appealing? A mysterious lover.
Mysterious lover? I've always said that Freddie Wilson was weird, but certainly not mysterious.
Not Freddie Wilson. A piece of stationery, an envelope, and you'll furnish the necessary money for the other items.
But I don't understand.
Tomorrow morning, your little Margie will receive a romantic gift or two, and then a note. This note. My dear Margie, of course, you will remember our meeting, so I won't sign my real name. Now, where could they have logically met? Of course. Remember our meeting, the Honeywell and Todd annual clients party.
I get it.
Well, la-di-da for you.
What a wonderful idea. The mysterious young man arrives over the weekend and Margie's curiosity won't let her leave town.
Am I a genius or am I a genius?
You're a genius. But how are you going to sign it?
Well, I'll sign it with the name the girls used to call me.
What's that?
Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes? That's a pip. What's the book? Something about sport car racing, I suppose.
No, it's all about hypnotism. Belongs to Mrs. Odette's.
Oh, no, Margie. You've gone in for about every wild thing that was ever invented, but please, not hypnotism.
Concentrate on the little shining object.
Oh, now cut that out.
Mrs. Odette's has so many unusual and interesting books. Do you know how they shrink heads?
Shrink heads? Oh, Margie, you were supposed to take care of Mrs. Odette's apartment while she was away, not browse through her belongings.
I'll get the book back in plenty of time.
I don't imagine anything to change your mind about entering that race.
Oh, please, Dad. I thought we settled that.
Well, someone at the door.
Oh, I'll get it.
It's for you, Miss Margie.
Flowers. Thanks, Charlie. Freddie must have gotten his misunderstanding straightened out at the unemployment office.
Well, good for Freddie. Roses with an orchid.
Freddie couldn't afford an orchid, even a used one. To Margie from Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes? Dad?
Oh, come on, honey. You don't have to pretend with me. Who is he?
I don't know.
This one's candy. You can smell it.
How long has this been going on? Oh, honey, what's his real name?
I don't know. Maybe this will be more explicit. Sweets for the sweet from Bright Eyes.
Who is he?
Dad, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I forgot. This came with the candy.
Thanks, Charlie.
Flowers, candy, and now a letter. Oh, of course, you still don't know who it is.
Well, maybe I will in a minute. Dear Margie, of course you'll remember me, so I won't sign my real name. Bright Eyes.
You mean you really don't know who it is?
No, I've told you. Remember our meeting at the annual Honeywell and Todd Clients Party? Margie, my dear, I have often thought about that night and the way you kissed a rose and told me to keep it always. He didn't forget.
You remember him?
Yeah, but it wasn't a rose, and I didn't tell him to keep it. It was a carnation, and I didn't kiss it. I ate it. But he wouldn't remember me. That was in kindergarten. Whenever the warm winds blow and the full moon beams, I hear your voice and see the light in your eyes. The light that shined when you said, "You may kiss me." How could I ever forget?
Well, so you do remember who he is.
Frankly, no, but it must have been a heck of an evening. I shall be in town this weekend. I've sent this note and my little tokens of affection through my New York representative.
Uh-oh. And you'll be away this weekend.
No address, no nothing. And 10,000 messenger boys in New York City. If I could only get in touch with him. Bright eyes, bright eyes.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be out of town, and I'll just tell him that you're sorry that you couldn't reach him.
Morning, all right. Margie. Thought I'd drop in and drive you down to the office. Candy and flowers. Who's a nice boy?
I don't know.
Well, let's go. Goodbye, honey.
Bye. Warm winds and a full moon. You may kiss me. How could I ever forget a nervous boy like that?
You're a little late. Your father and Mr. Honeywell have gone, and I'm just leaving.
Oh, I don't want my dad, Betty. I just want a little favor. Do you have a list of clients who've been invited to the annual Honeywell and Todd parties for the past few years?
The annual parties?
It's a letter I got. I've been racking my brain all day. Who's Bright Eyes? Who's Bright Eyes? And now I'm going to find out.
You are?
Yes. When I get Bright Eyes on the phone, you'll know what it's all about. Where's the list?
Well, I don't know about the parties, but if they've ever had anything to do with Honeywell and Todd, they're in here.
Thanks, Betty.
Good night, Miss Albright.
Good night.
Don't forget to lock the door.
I won't. This could take years. Operator, would you please get me Mr. William Apperson in Cape Town, South Africa? Cancel that one, operator. Get me Mr. Harmon Andrews in Atlanta, Georgia. The number is Peachtree 35144. The trunk lines are busy? Would you call me back? Thanks. The number is Dunbar 36862.
William Davenport, Jr., sometimes you make me so angry I forget myself.
Simmer down, Uncle DeWitt. Why should I worry about business? You're doing a wonderful job.
Yes, but you're the president. Your father wanted you to carry on when he left off. Now, why won't you come with me to New York tonight? If we're going to let Honeywell and Todd handle our account, the president should meet these gentlemen.
Sorry, Unc, can't. Big problem tonight. Got to get a date.
Oh, I give up.
Look, Uncle DeWitt, I'll compromise. I'll call Honeywell and Todd and meet them over the phone. Operator, get me Dunbar 36862. This is Fleetwood 45713.
Yes, operator?
Your father would turn over in his grave if he...
Operator?
Oh, I was expecting a call.
Just a second, please. See you tomorrow, Uncle DeWitt. I think I just got heaven by mistake.
Oh, what's the use? What's the use?
Now then, you were saying?
Who is this? I was expecting a call. Did you call me or did I call you?
I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time.
Are you Bright Eyes?
Brightest eyes you ever saw.
Well, then you are Bright Eyes.
You, and only you, may call me Bright Eyes.
I'll bet you thought I'd forgotten about giving you the rose, but I hadn't. And I'm glad you didn't forget about the moon and the warm breeze. I'll always remember it.
I always knew you were the kind of a girl that wouldn't forget. You seem to remember a lot of things. Tell me, do you remember the ride on the roller coaster?
Do I? It was wonderful. Roller coaster. I was surprised you'd even remember my name.
Forget your name? Never. It's always on the tip of my tongue.
Same with me. I'll never forget your name as long as I live. I'll never forget it, but what is it?
Thought you'd like to know I got the theater tickets.
Swell. And tonight, after Mr. DeWitt Davenport signs, the great Consolidated Lumber Corporation becomes another happy client of Honeywell and Todd.
How you coming with Margie?
Well, she hasn't come in yet. She's probably canceling her plans for the auto race.
Dad? Dad? I found him. I found him, Dad.
You found whom?
Not whom, him. Hi, Mr. Honeywell. I found Bright Eyes.
Margie!
Yes?
You found Bright Eyes?
Yes.
That's a physical impossibility.
Margie, what are you talking about? There is no Bright Eye. But you didn't know his real name.
But you know the old all-bright spirit, Dad. Never give up. So I tracked him down. I figured that if we met at a Honeywell and Todd party, his name would be on your list of clients. So I started calling and asking for Bright Eyes.
So you're a genius.
I don't dig you two. Oh, what a wonderful voice. What a wonderful name. Bill Davenport.
Bill Davenport?
Did I say something wrong?
No, honey, but you couldn't possibly have met Bill Davenport. He's a new potential client. He's never even been invited to any of our parties.
But he was there. He knew all about the letter, said how nicely I danced.
All right, this is unconstitutional.
Uh-oh, when you two are at each other's throats, little Margie retreats. I've got to change anyway.
Well, why? Where are you going?
Oh, Bill's driving over from Newark. He'll be here at 8:30.
Tonight?
Is anything wrong with that?
No. I'd be glad to meet him. Go ahead and change your clothes, baby. What else is new, Bright Eyes? Boy, we've got to work fast. We're in a real jam. If Bill Davenport and Margie get together, he'll find out about that letter. Then he'll know we played a prank like a couple of kids.
If his Uncle DeWitt finds out, he'll think we're a couple of fools. And this is the biggest account we ever had a crack at.
Oh, we got to get Margie out of here before Bill arrives. I know I've got it. Operator, get me Newark. I want to speak to Mr. Sam Waterman, Bay 96421. I'm going to get Sam to send Margie a wire and sign it Bill Davenport. Now, give me a couple of those theater tickets. Mr. DeWitt Davenport is not going to show tonight. Fine. Now, you meet the old man. Now, Bill gets here at 8:30. By 8:45, I'll have him well on his way, and then you can bring the old man over.
All right, I got to hand it to you. Oh, then we won't need this Bright Eyes letter that I wrote to send out tomorrow.
Oh, for crying out loud, get rid of it. Now, go and meet the old man. Yes, operator, I'm waiting.
Margie Albright. Satis Flower Shop. Please send 2 dozen roses to Miss Margie Albright, same address as yesterday, and attach this envelope. Charge to account of Mr. Vern Albright. As before, this is a strictly confidential matter.
I'm sorry, honey, but at least it was nice of Bill to send you that telegram instead of just standing you up.
I wonder what happened. He won't be able to get here until the weekend.
Well, after all, those were his original plans. Remember the Bright Eyes letter?
Oh, who cares anyway? It was just lucky that you had these tickets. And you do want me to go to the show.
I want you to go because you'll love it. Now run along and pick up Freddie and have a nice time.
Okay, Dad. Bye.
Bye, baby.
Don't disappoint me. Please be beautiful.
Yes?
Is Margie in, sir? She's expecting me. I'm Bill Davenport.
Bill Davenport? But I thought your Uncle DeWitt was coming. I'm Vern Albright.
Well, you don't understand, Mr. Albright. I'm not here on business. I spoke with Margie over the phone this afternoon. We have a date.
You spoke with Margie?
Yes, at Honeywell and Todd's.
Oh, but that's impossible. My daughter Margie's been in Europe for 2 weeks.
In Europe? But the call came from your office.
Oh, I'm sorry, my boy, but I'm afraid somebody's been playing a joke on you. I hope you won't hold it against us.
Joke, huh?
Well, maybe a cleaning woman with a young voice or something. I'm terribly sorry, my boy.
That's okay. Good night.
Good night.
Bright eyes?
Bright eyes. Margie? Boy, have you got your father fooled. He thinks you're in Europe.
Oh, no, he doesn't. I think he's playing a little game called Let's Keep Margie Out of the Race and Away from Clients.
Huh?
My father and I are a small but very complicated family. But let's forget it and talk about us. Do you think I've changed much since the party?
Not at all. Well, a little more beautiful, maybe.
Same with you. A little more handsome.
Thanks. You know something?
What?
It must have been kind of dark that night. Frankly, I don't remember your face.
You don't?
You know I'm not Bright Eyes. By the way, who is that guy? He could give me some pointers on letter writing.
He isn't anybody. You and I have been duped. How'd you like to dupe the duper?
Your father?
My father.
Sounds fair to me. What'll we do?
I don't know. Hey, I think I do know.
Bill Davenport, what are you doing back?
I'm retracing my steps, Mr. Albright. I lost my billfold somewhere tonight. There it is.
Oh, fine. Well, I'll see you again sometime.
Something wrong?
You're not supposed to be here.
I'm not?
No, because this is Mr. Bill Davenport and my daughter Margie's in Europe.
Oh, I see. Well, that ought to keep her from meeting Mr. Davenport.
Oh, please be understanding. This isn't my daughter because my daughter Margie's in Europe.
Sure, Mr. Albright. But the least you can do is introduce me to this charming girl. Then my trip won't be entirely in vain.
Yes, Mr. Albright, introduce us.
Oh, yes, of course. This is Mr. Davenport, and this is Miss Jones.
Nice to know you.
The same. Are you a friend of the family's?
Well, you notice how nervous Mr. Albright is.
Yes, I've noticed.
Well, I'm sort of connected to his nervousness.
Oh, yes, she's always connected to my nervousness.
I don't get it.
Well, if you'll step in the living room and wait for a minute, Mr. Davenport, I'll show you. So you tried to trick little Margie, huh?
All right, I know I did, but please don't give me away. This fella's connected with a big deal. Now, how are you going to cover up for all this talk about nervousness? Who are you supposed to be, anyway?
Well, I shouldn't help you, but I'm going to.
Oh, thanks, Margie, thanks.
But you'll have to go along to make it look good.
Anything. Well, what's the plan?
You remember that hypnotism book?
Yes, what about it?
Well, it's lucky I had it on my mind. Just go along. I've calmed him down pretty well, Mr. Davenport. Now, if you'd like to watch, I'll get on with this therapy.
Therapy?
Yes. Sit down. You see, I'm a practicing psychologist. I'm helping Mr. Albright overcome his business worries through hypnotism.
Oh, I see.
Now, watch the shiny object. You are getting tired. Very tired. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. There, you see? He's asleep already.
Amazing. Say, tell me, is it true that you can make somebody do something completely foreign against their nature?
Oh, definitely. Now take Mr. Albright. Very dignified investment counselor. I'll demonstrate. Doesn't really matter because he won't remember when he wakes up. Mr. Albright? Mr. Albright, you are a loaf of bread. You are a loaf of bread.
What kind of bread?
Pumpernickel bread. Repeat that, please.
I am a loaf of pumpernickel bread.
Amazing. What about something else?
Oh, anything at all. Mr. Albright, you are a horse. You are a horse.
I am a loaf of pumpernickel bread.
Don't fight me, Mr. Albright. Get up. You are a horse.
I am a horse.
Open your eyes, horsey.
I am a horse.
Now, walk around and make a noise like a horse. Giddy up, horsey. Giddy up.
You'll be impressed with Albright, Mr. Davenport. Level-headed fellow. Perfect example of the type of man associated with Honeywell and Todd.
Whoa, boy.
I'm sure glad Mr. Albright won't remember this. He'd probably never forgive you for making him do this in front of me. But then he doesn't know that I'm the real head of the Consolidated Lumber Company.
You are?
Yes. But don't worry. I'm finding this very interesting. Let him answer the door.
Go to the door, horsey. And remember, you're a horse.
All right. This is Mr. DeWitt Davenport.
I am a horse.
What did he say?
I am a horse.
This is the type man connected with Honeywell and Todd?
Albright, what's the matter with you?
I am a horse.
Hi, Uncle DeWitt.
William!
Margie?
Margie?
Miss Jones hypnotized Mr. Honeywell some time ago, and she told him that every time they met, he'd call her Margie. I am a horse.
What are you doing here?
No interest in business.
Let's all go in the living room.
The heck with the old one. The young one's the big wheel. Now just go along with everything.
What?
No time for questions. Just go along.
It's the latest thing for jangled nerves. Hypnotism's really amazing.
I think I'll give Mr. Honeywell a little treatment, too. Sit down, Mr. Honeywell.
I am a horse. Sit down, sit down.
Now, watch the shiny object. You are getting sleepy. Very sleepy. You are asleep.
Now watch this, Uncle DeWitt. How about a couple of statues?
Very simple.
Mr. Honeywell, get up.
Any special kind of statue?
Well, we already have the horse. How about him being an Indian?
Indian?
You know, the famous old bookend statue called the End of the Trail. The old tired brave riding the half-dead horse.
That one. Mr. Albright, get down on all fours. Mr. Honeywell, get on his back. Let your heads droop. You are tired.
They expect to handle Consolidated Lumber?
Oh, I don't know, Uncle DeWitt. They seem like pretty nice fellas.
Yes, but I wonder if they'll ever learn not to try and trick Margie.
I don't know, Miss Jones. What do you think, Margie?
Don't ask me. I'm in Europe.
We've been took. Margie, I mean it. If you ever make a fool out of me like that again,
Dad, who started it?
Okay. But you realize you almost wrecked one of the biggest deals we ever had? Of all the idiotic... Now cut that out.
Okay. Seabiscuit.
Well, that's my little Margie.